Everybody wants a roster, but nobody wants to manage it. I've been doing a lot of thinking, and I've also experienced a lot. One of which is a roster. And when I tell you that that shit is a headache, it is a real headache. Now, the question is for anybody who has never really had any action or any play in their life, the grass seems greener on the other side. But before you really consider going through all that useless time, we have some pros and cons. I've actually asked AI to make me a pro and a con for having a roster. For those of you that don't know, a roster is literally just having a whole bunch of women just feeding your ego and giving you attention, all that shit. Some of the women, it could just be exclusively on the phone, or some of the women can actually be giving you real physical intimacy in the bedroom, in the cardboard box where the homeless dude sleeps, pretty much anywhere. So let's go over it. Pro number one, if you even want to call it a pro, you develop an abundance mindset. Okay. Apparently it says you're not emotionally dependent on one person. This boosts your confidence and makes you more attractive and it keeps you from chasing. This, okay, I get that. Um, but just know every day that kind of steers you away from liking the idea of a relationship. So please proceed with caution here. Okay. And the first con that we have is it's time and energy drain, just like how I mentioned previously. It says texting, linking, planning, it all takes time. Balancing multiple women can feel like a full-time side hustle, especially if you're on your grind. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Facts. If you're on your grind and you have a roster of women, you're going to be feeding attention to one or the other. You can't be on your grind and you can't have a roster at the same time. It literally just doesn't work because they take time away from each other. So much so to the point where whenever you're in the midst of whatever you're doing, you're gonna be like, damn, I could have used that time to be doing this instead. Even if you're grinding and you get like a hint of, I want to indulge in some degeneracy, you're gonna be grinding. It's like, damn, I could low key be getting some play right now, but I'm being productive. Same way it works with the plays. Like, damn, I'm getting the play right now. I really could have took this time to read. Could have worked on my video. I could have edited. I could have made some strides in my business. Whatever corresponds with you. You can't grind and have a roster at the same time. It's impossible. Now, the pro number two that they have is that you develop better game and social skills, which is something I can agree with. It definitely, every time you talk to women, it's like you get more practice. You work on your charisma and you're better at talking with people. It says you get reps in to learn how to flirt, lead conversations, and handle different personalities. Fast rate, too. And, I will say this, yes, that is true. For those of you who know me on TikTok, I've done Tinder speedruns where I talk to multiple women and tell you how easy it is because honestly, it doesn't really come down to what you say. That really doesn't matter. It really just depends on how you look and if she likes you enough. If she finds you attractive enough, anything is going to work pretty much. And the kind that they put alongside with that is the financial cost. Even if you're low maintenance, linking up still adds up. Drinks, foods, Uber, it's easy to overspend trying to entertain multiple women. What I will say is very taxing, not just financially, but mentally as well. You get tired of that shit, bro. I don't know how people deal with rosters on a long term basis. Whenever I was doing that shit, I would always have to give myself a break, literally a month in. Not because of the financial aspect, just because of the mental aspect. One woman is already a headache, right? Women are just guaranteed headaches. So if you take five more in rotation, all just giving you a headache, dude, you're gonna be pissed. You're gonna be irritated at the world. It's like you're walking around and you're hungry all day. Why would you want that? The ego, of course. But let's move on to the next one. The pro number three that they put is the options equals leverage. It says you're not afraid to walk away if someone starts playing games. Having options give you the power to keep your standards high. In a way, but I feel like when you're dealing with rosters, it's like you start to gravitate towards more quantity over quality because the harsh reality is a lot of the women that show you a lot of interest first when you're not really too established, but you look good, they might not be your dream woman. So, but if she's feeding you all this attention, you might be able to be willing to go down than what you're used to because she's letting you do whatever you want. But nobody's going to talk about that, right? The con that they put with it is the emotional complications. Oh, brother, let's see what they got. Someone will catch feelings, or maybe you will. And if honesty isn't clear from the start, expect drama. Yeah, I mean, I have no input towards that. Yeah, I can agree with that. I feel like the moment you start getting headaches from somebody that you're not really even 100% exclusive with, or you're just not taking them serious, it's like, what's the point? You can drop them so fast, but I feel like that's not human. Every time you in this stage of getting rosters and shit, it's like dehumanizing them every day. And that's a bad habit we're all trying to work on. You know what I mean? Casual hookups and just links have been so normalized. I feel like that's not normal. I do blame some of the prominence of social media for this issue, but that's a video for another day. And then they have a pro number four, which it really depends on the four. Ego boost, right? The most common one, the one that you and I probably could have guessed from a mile away, says there's a dopamine rush that comes with multiple women wanting your time. Feels validating, like you're that guy. And I'm not gonna lie, every time there's been multiple women texting me at one time, look, I'm gonna be honest here. You feel like the man. Feel like the man is like, man, I can get cat anytime I want, anywhere. A lot of men can't do that. Therefore, it fuels the ego. It's like I'm doing things that other men cannot do. Of course, that's gonna fuel the ego. But then you have to question whatever fills your ego. It says, what does that say about you? Your ego shouldn't be fueled by superficial and shallow things like how many women are texting you, how many women you get to link with, or how many opportunities that you get with different women. It's okay to feel good about that sometimes, but that shouldn't consume you. Okay, because that doesn't help you get close to any of your goals or your purpose in the long run. But best believe I've had my moments in age. You know, I'm still human, so I'll slip up every now and then, be like, I'm feeling extra good. You see the hoes I got on my phone? It happens to everybody. We all slip up. But as long as you're working for a better tomorrow. Now, the time that they put alongside with this is it's a shallow fulfillment. Literally what I just said. But let's just say what they said. Over time, it can start to feel empty. Its surface level connections stop hitting. You realize something's missing. That's literally what it is. At some point in the middle of these links, if you're having physical intimacy, you're getting everything that you want physically. You're going to sit there after it's all done, after the height of it, and you're going to wonder, what am I doing? Does this even really make me happy? Because at this point, I'm doing it all for my ego and I'm doing it as a sport. And this shit used to be for love. How did we go from doing this shit to try to find the one to getting multiple just to satisfy our ego? At some point, it starts to become a hobby. And I don't think that's what this should be. We've really strayed away from what things were supposed to be. And it's our job to get back to that point, if that makes sense. Now, it says Pro 5, okay? It says it helps clarify what you want. You learn what kind of woman actually adds to your life and what traits are just distractions. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this is one I definitely agree with. When you deal with a lot of women at one point, you get a taste of a lot of different personalities and you get to see which one really meshes with you. Um, like for me, I am very quiet, but I'm witty. And if I deal with a carbon copy of me, I found that I did not like that, which is really a slap in the face if I'm being honest. But what I like is somebody who's a little bit more outgoing. Although, if you believe in this term, I think I reside within a ambivert, somebody who's also an introvert and an extrovert at the same time, because I can do the same thing. I prefer to stay to myself though if I can. But I feel like we just can't be two people who are just closed off and just hate people. I feel like that doesn't work. I like to have somebody that likes to balance me out. And I didn't learn that until I really went through the trial and error, dealing with different women with different personalities. But some might argue that, that's not okay because you should just find out naturally what you like. And honestly, if she was the one, it would have just worked out anyway, and you would have just found out that way instead of using the excuse of, oh, you need to experiment with different women just to find out. I get everything. I get every side of what anybody can say about that. I really do. Now, the con that they put with it, it says it delays growth. A constant roster can become a distraction from real self reflection, emotional growth, or building a deeper bond with someone meaningful. It's almost as if I'm saying all this shit before I even read the cons. That's a dangerous thing about self awareness. It will delay your growth. You're doing all this meaningless shit. Let's be honest. All the casual links, a lot of these casual hookups are meaningless. They don't add any value to your life. They don't do anything for you. They just distract you from what you really want to be doing. I've had a lot of women in the past weeks that have been distracting me from putting out a video like this, and I'm ashamed to admit it, but I know I'm human, but at the same time, I don't use that as an excuse because I know I can go so much harder. It does in fact delay your growth. The truth is you don't need a roster right now. You don't need all these hoes in your life. You don't need to distract yourself with women. You need to sit your ass down and just do what you've been meaning to do. Stop putting your shit off. You're human, so it's going to happen from time to time, but don't let it become a habit because that habit will bite you in the ass later on. I told you, the last thing I want to become when I'm older is a bitter ass old man who says, I could have been this, I should have been that. Oh, imagine if I was this when I could literally make it happen in my reality right now. But for that, it's going to take some serious discipline, a hard conversation that I must have with myself often, and just consistency. Consistency is the game. It makes it especially difficult when you can be super self-aware about something, but yet it just doesn't help. It's like you know the answer, but it doesn't do anything. You're still getting the wrong answer even though you know what you should be doing. It's very humbling, but that's life, isn't it? Good news is the best sign of intellect is somebody who can acknowledge that they know nothing at all. And all we can really do is hope to work for a better tomorrow. Really use our privilege. The past, you can't worry about it because it already happened. The future, it hasn't happened yet. But the present is called the present for a reason. It's literally a gift. We have the gift of time. Work hard today for a seamless future. Don't even worry about the past. I appreciate everybody who's listened this far. We got more bangers on the way. I appreciate you so much.